It's Jennifer Roberts, Pod Queen, and I have guests today. Hi, girls.
Hi.
Mom. This is Sydney Roberts, my oldest child, Mahan Thomas, Jay and Naomi's daughter, and I am talking to them today because they're teenagers. How old are you, Sydney?
15.
Very good. Mahan?
14.
14. Awesome. And the reason I'm talking to the girls today is I posed the question to the viewers, what do you want to hear about? What topics, what questions, who do you want me to interview? And people ask me, well, how do you teach teenagers to love Jesus? And I thought, well, why not have some teenagers and talk to them about their relationship with the Lord? See, did that work? No, works perfectly. Okay, so girls, I've known you, Mahan, since you were 2.
Mm-hmm.
You've grown.
Yes.
And you're really pretty. Just a little bit. Really pretty, really sweet. Sydney, I've known you since the womb.
Really?
So I feel like we're close. So
Yeah, we're tight. We're tight.
We're really tight. So, and I've seen both of you develop in your relationship with the Lord and own it for yourself. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, definitely.
And so, what do you do? Like, how do you maintain your relationship with Jesus? Let's start with you, Sid.
Honestly, I'm just provoked by just even parents that I see around me and different leaders, because we live in the IHOP community. There's so many like actual godly people that I'm provoked to actually just talk to God. And what I do is mostly, I love playing the piano, and through playing the piano I really feel like I feel the presence of the Lord, and it just moves through me. And so playing the piano is one thing that I love, and when I play the piano I just feel free, and just singing to the Lord, and even just like the random like God I love you, like throughout the day, just talking, just random phrases is what I like to do.
That's awesome. What about you, Mahan? How do you kind of feed your relationship with God?
Well, I found that it actually, as you get older, it gets a lot harder.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially like just growing up in the IHOP community, there are pressures of you have to do it like this, you have to do it every day just like this.
Yeah.
Especially it depends on like how like where you grow up, like prior to Kansas City. Not that I really had a prior to Kansas City, but just who you hang out with, where you go to school, what you do for school, it really all affects the way your relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
And I've been actually finding it a lot harder. Just like growing up, I'm just not going into high school. Just all these added pressures. It's been harder lately.
Yeah.
And so, but I've been just like setting schedules for myself, and like I have 30 minutes a day where I pray, and 30 minutes a day where I read my Bible, and they're 2 separate times. They're not together. So It's not 30 minutes of praying and reading. It's an hour of praying and then reading, or reading and praying. So it's just that really helps, like setting a schedule for yourself and saying this is the time where I need to set apart for God.
Right.
And I need to set apart for Jesus.
Right. And the fact that you're saying, hey, it's harder, to me says you're actually taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So, because both of you, I've observed in both of you, you're not living off your parents' relationship. And if you were, then it wouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
So I'm actually encouraged by that. That's really deep. And so how do you choose your friends in a way that helps you want to follow Jesus hard, but yet you don't want to kind of rule people out, or do you? I mean, how do you do that? How do you enter into relationships?
My approach is definitely to be nice to everybody, even if they're like awful, horrible, mean to you.
Even her family. She's still nice for what?
But I think what I find is that when I go to youth group we have youth group services, and when I go to youth group, I sit with the people who I know will actually pray and engage with the Lord, and not are just gonna like talk and goof off the whole time in the service. And just like I take a step back and I look at people's hearts, because I don't like just having a friend for the heck of it and not having an actual relationship with a person that provokes me to anything. Even if it was bad, I would want someone that could actually provoke me to something and make me greater. So I usually just step back and I'm just like, okay, well, who could actually make my heart greater, and who can I learn from, and who could I help teach and help them be a better person at the same time as they're helping me.
That's good. What about you, Mahan? How does that work for you in choosing friends?
I've had several different groups of friends
Yeah.
over the long period
Clusters,
of time.
if you will.
Clusters.
Like grapes.
Yes, like grapes. Little clusters. But just getting away from people who just over time kind of fall away. It's probably one of the most heartbreaking things that you can do. You have to kind of like just push away from your friends, and it really is. It's very hard to do, and you're not gonna want to do it because they make you really happy, or they make you feel good because you've been friends with them for such a long time. You have a history.
Right.
But you have to like pray about it, and like, can I maybe help them, but still stay close to them without getting pulled into it myself.
Excellent. That's really good. So we'll close with this. People may be watching who don't have a community like you guys have.
Yeah.
And so what would your advice be to a teenager that's watching that maybe feels alone in their relationship with the Lord and doesn't have like this strong supportive community? What would you say to them?
I'm stumped. I've never lived out a community.
I just pray a lot. Talk to Jesus. Really listen to his heart and just listen. Sit there and listen.
That's good.
Yeah. I would kind of steal the same thing. I have the same thing in premise. But just like, because I feel like I've made like a bigger step towards having a relationship with Jesus recently. Like, I've always taken it serious.
Smoking.
I stopped smoking and
So
Thanks, Mom. I'm so validated right now. But just I'm losing my words.
Taking a step towards your relation with Jesus.
But just taking it more seriously and even like saying no to hanging out with friends. And taking that time to pray, and I realized that even like my insecurities and my worries have actually started just falling off because I'm taking serious like having a relationship with God. And really like, I think if I was in the woods, I would have a great time by myself just because, having a good relationship with God is all you need. So,
right. Satisfying.
Yeah.
And even as a teenager, it's satisfying.
It really is. Yeah, for sure.
It's good.
It may take a little like getting used to because you've been satisfied by all these other things.
Definitely,
But once you get used to it and really like understand what's going on, then you can really, really be satisfied. It takes some time, but
No, that's good. That's honest. I appreciate that. Good job, you guys. See, you're natural. Superstar.
You made it.
You made it. Good job. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining us.